Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Webley Webster, and today I have a new sort of video that I've never done before, and it's actually a tip video, which is sort of weird. It's not something that I've ever tried to do, but I think it's something that is helpful, and is actually something that I had learned about before I even started playing Counter-Strike. It's a CSGO tip, although it can work for other FPS, it's mostly a Counter-Strike thing. This is crosshair placement. And I actually saw a tip video about this before I even started playing CSGO. It just sort of appeared on YouTube, and I watched it, and it was sort of interesting. It was Adren was going over crosshair placement, and this is something very important. And so, also, that meant that as soon as I started playing, I already had sort of a step up, I guess, an advantage against other people who just started playing, because I remembered that video. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that. So the thing about crosshair placement, and I'll do like the classic example that everyone does when they talk about crosshair placement, and that is peeking on Cat on Dust 2, which is what this is called if you didn't know. And what you want to do is, there'll be a sort of an instinct to do like this, you know? And try and shoot a guy there, because that is a common place for people to look. So you're going to want to be like, that kind of thing. Only problem is, what if the guy is not there? Like, what? So you've been called out. Or actually, let's do this on CT side. It's a bit. There's an example that works. So your team. I'm assuming you're playing in a competitive setting. This is deathmatch and casual. No, your team is called out. The guy has just boosted, or not boosted, has just climbed up Xbox, which is what that's called if you didn't know. I'm assuming that people who are watching this maybe are very new to Counter-Strike, so that's called Xbox. This whole area is called Catwalk, or this is short A, up here's Catwalk. So you get that call. You are playing a aggressive Catwalk type of thing. Maybe you're up here, you know, peeking this kind of angle. So you want to kill this guy. You know, you're confident. You think you can kill him. Your instinct is going to be do this. You know, peek him while he's here. That was actually even worse than I intended it to be. You're going to want to do that, and that's not advisable. Simply because, well, it is the fastest and sort of the safest way. If the guy is actually right here, then just coming around this corner, fast crouch peek, pre-shooting, all that kind of stuff, is the fastest and safest way to kill a guy. He's not going to have much time to react, but let's say that he's actually pushing up Cat, and he's sort of in a transition phase. Let's say, like, that's his head, just that general area. So, you push up. Oh my god, he's all the way over there. I have to now flick shot him and try and headshot. And that may or may not happen. He's probably going to get the kill. So, how we avoid that is this technique called crosshair placement. And that is you glue your crosshair to this corner. So that when I'm peeking this corner, bam bam, I'm already aiming at him, and I can just headshot him. And that's a much easier kill than, you know, yeah, I'm right up here, I'm going to peek him. Oh my god. So, that is like the typical thing, and then you come around. Let's say he's not here, you come around, you drop down into the little corner here, and then boom, now you can sort of attach it to this wall just for briefly, see if there's anyone at that angle, and then go back. And then you've pretty much, at this point, checked Cat. Also, just one thing, you always kind of want to be as far away from this corner. Like, I see this guy a lot sooner if I'm over here. You know, if I'm over here than if I'm over here. So you always want to be as far away from the corner. That's why you would drop down here, check here, walk like this, check this, you know, walk back, check this. You have a wider angle, you have more time to react. And then I would loop back around up against this wall, crosshair against this wall. I can check like here, check palm tree, even though there's no palm tree anymore in this game. But yeah, that is sort of the peeking crosshair placement. This is what everyone teaches you when they teach crosshair placement, is just sort of keep it on the wall. I know your reaction time, I usually keep it about this far. this far away from the wall. And of course, it's not perfectly consistent. It doesn't have to be like 100% flawless. You don't need to be like exactly on the wall. But just generally here, so about this far, and that's like a good peeking. Again, know your reaction time. I mean, if you have really good reaction time and really good mouse control, you can try and like put your crosshair right on. I can't even like do it. Yeah, it's kind of actually difficult to do that. So generally, just close to the corner, it's going to allow you to be aiming at the idea of crosshair placement is that you are aiming as little as possible. And like in this case, basically, I'm already aiming at him. That's the idea. Like instead of this, then I have to aim at him. This way, I'm already aiming. I peeked the corner. I'm already aiming at him. No matter where he is on cat, he can be over here. No, I can be bam. As opposed to, again, if I was peeking here. I mean, if you know 100% that there's only one guy there and you know he's not moving, then maybe crouch peek pre-shoot is, like, safer. But you usually don't want to do that just in case there's another guy there, just in case he's moved. So that's, like, that's the basics. That's what everyone teaches you. But there's a bit more to it than that. Alright, so actually, hang on. That was a stupid move. Why did I go down there? So let's say you're in the same position, playing the same sort of aggressive catwalk. You're up here. You're peeking this pipe right here. Alright, let's see. Maybe you're pre-shooting. It doesn't matter. But you get a call that bomb is B, there's a full B push, and what you might do is pull out your knife, jump down here, start running, right? Okay, first of all, that's really bad for a number of reasons. It's just, I forgot I could do this. Makes things a lot easier. One, if you're going to be pulling out your knife, maybe you do it till you get about here to get things faster. And then, you know, there might be people mid. And you're going to do the same crosshair placement, check mid, maybe check that. And just in general, when you're moving, even if you're rotating, always have your crosshair doing something useful. Never just have it out in the middle of nowhere like this. Like, no. Because, you know, if someone decides to peek while they're inside a B and you're doing this, or and you have to react to that. So, you know, be checking here, and then when you're coming into a site, pre-fire, all the places that you think people are going to be. And just never... This is what a lot of videos overlook, is that you should never just have your crosshair doing absolutely nothing. There's, like, advanced things. It takes some getting used to and sort of, like, where you should be looking at certain times and where you are. Like, if you're peeking mid, you want to peek. You want to check cat. Peek up here. So that's, yeah, that's the basics of crosshair placement. And, you know, if you're doing this... And also, just don't run with your knife out. Like in the first example, I was running all the way over here. If someone peeks you, if someone comes out mid while you're doing this, look at how much time you have to take. And you're dead at that point. No question, doesn't matter. I mean, unless there's a smoke here, but even so, don't bother. And you know what, it's... I mean, unless the bomb is literally about to go off, and you have to run. But, I mean... Preferably in this case, if you know there's no enemies. Like, that's really when you'd be doing this. Even so, you'd be checking the site. And then you'd be defusing. Then maybe you could run with just your crosshair in the middle of nowhere. And actually... and there's a few other things, like people will... What am I doing? I have this. I'm a hacker. Like, people out here... We'll do this, just in case there's a guy here or a guy there. They think, like, well, this is halfway in between. Like, this will be the fastest reaction time. I can get to both sides pretty quickly. And this is also wrong, because either way, you're going to die pretty much at this point. Like, this way, you kind of have to little bit commit. Like, this is a pre-fire. And then you just have to, like, watch this, maybe check this. Check this. Check this. Like, you just always be checking a corner Even if you're rotating in between sites, there's no reason. Like, you can check that if you want to. Actually, I should have checked that. Just do that. Like, just real quick before you jump into it. Just I didn't even mean to do that. But yeah. Basically, always be checking corners, even if you're rotating, even if there's one person left, you know, you never know. And if you're checking a corner, like if I'm walking up here, I always want to be here or here. Just sort of alternating between watching sight, watching CT spawn, coming up here, I want to like drag like that. So yeah, crosshair placement is very important. It really helps. Trust me, this isn't just like something that's like a little tip. This is like really important to how the game functions and how many frags you're going to be able to get in a match. If you have good crosshair placement, things get really easy. So yeah, just something that I thought I'd share with you. I might do some more of these, like basic stuff, and then some more advanced explanations, basic stuff. I would have examples, but I don't, so. But you can take my word for it. In theory, everything that I'm saying makes perfect sense as to why you would do it. Because aiming less, you never want to have to flick shot someone. Like, if I'm watching here, I don't want to have to do this. Like, you know, watching here, they're long, wham! That's really unreliable. So, I mean, that's a bad example, actually, because I wouldn't be watching long, but just, you know, just flick shotting. If I'm just over here, like, looking at cat, and then someone comes out, obviously I'd rather have my crosshair where they're going to be. So yeah, that was just a little quick tip video on crosshair placement. Actually, not so quick, because I kind of went a little bit in depth and explained some things that people often leave out, mostly being that crosshair placement is not just when you're peeking, it's also when you're rotating. It's when you're doing anything. You should never have your crosshair just out in the middle of nowhere like that. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Like if you enjoyed, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I'm Blue Webster, and I put out new videos every day, so. God, I haven't done this in a while. I'm sorry, I haven't done a video in a while, so. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.